Future Hall of Famer floats a corner pattern. It's going to be intercepted by L'Jarius Sneed at the left boundary.
That was part of a huge rookie season for L'Jarius Sneed. Pro Football Focus actually graded him as the top rookie corner in all of football last season, and the Chiefs got him in the 4th round of last year's draft. Now with the 2021 draft coming up, could the Chiefs take another corner or two to bolster their secondary? For more on that topic, we're checking in today with Dane Brugler of The Athletic. We're chatting with several draft experts in the weeks leading up to the draft about certain position groups, and today is all about corner. So, Dane, my first question for you, just looking at this draft class this year, how would you evaluate the overall depth at cornerback?
I think it's fair to say that corner is one of the deeper positions in this class. And, aside from wide receiver, it's usually the highest drafted position each year just in terms of number of draft picks. And this year won't be any different. I think there's a little bit of a drop-off once we get to day 3, which is usually expected. But the depth of this cornerback class in the first 3 rounds, I think, is above average. It's not unrealistic to think we could have at least 5 corners drafted in each of the first 3 rounds, which is really impressive. So not only does this class have some intriguing talent at the top at the position, but I think it stretches as well, just beyond the first round into rounds 2 and 3.
Yeah, well, that's certainly good to hear. Now, start in the first round. Of course, the Chiefs' first pick is selection number 31 at the back end of the first round. If the Chiefs want to go corner in round 1, who are some possible fits there that make sense at number 31?
Well, we know, with the Chiefs, they like to play, a lot of zone, press coverage worked in, based on the personnel. And so looking at that first round, Northwestern's Greg Newsome, I think would be a great fit. He's a little leaner than you want, but he's got decent height, decent length. He's a route magnet, lower body agility. He can anticipate routes. He can stay under control, make plays on the football. Has only 1 interception in 3 years. And so you want to see him turn some of those pass breakups into turnovers. But I love his fluid transitions, his instincts. I think he'd be a great fit for what the Chiefs want to do and what he could bring to that defense.
Now, one thing the Chiefs front office and coaching staff has really excelled at in the last several years is finding corners kind of later on in the draft and developing them. I mentioned Snead at the beginning of this. He was picked number 138 in last year's draft and really blossomed last year. Also, Travarius Ward a few years ago, he went undrafted. The Cowboys signed him after the draft, but the Chiefs identified him and traded for him, and he's blossomed into a really nice corner for this team in the years since then. If the Chiefs want to do that again, if they want to find a young corner or two on day 2 and day 3 and really develop him, who are some names to keep an eye on?
Yeah, if they wait till day 2, I think both of or either of these Georgia corners would make sense. Eric Stokes is long, lean, speedy, not very technically sound with his feet or his eyes, but plenty of promise. And then Tyson Campbell, his teammate with the Bulldogs. Ideal traits physically. When you talk about his size, the speed makeup, he could play tight coverage. It's just you want to see better ball instincts. You want to see him be able to locate, make plays on the ball. But that's why these players are being talked about as day 2 players, not day 1 players. And then if we're looking at the mid to late rounds, I think Cal's Cam Bynum would make some sense. Not the most athletically gifted player, but he's really balanced in coverage. I think he has awareness to make plays on the ball. Even though he doesn't have that elite speed, he's going to stick at the next level because he's tough. His play recognition is outstanding, and the football character is something that I think coaches are really going to appreciate. And then one more player I think that's worth mentioning, Marco Wilson from Florida. Needs to improve his discipline, limit the mistakes, but he has terrific awareness in space, the attitude to get the job done. Probably going to be remembered most for that cleat throwing incident in the LSU game, but his talent is NFL roster worthy as a player that's worth developing.
Awesome. Should be a lot of fun to see how it all plays out on draft weekend. Now, Dan, you're about as entrenched in the draft as anybody. If fans want to see more of your work, how can they do that?
You find all my draft coverage at The Athletic. You can find it on Twitter at DP Brugler. I've got the draft guide coming out here in a month, early April, which I think is the best resource out there available. So if you have your Athletic subscription, it's part of that. So hopefully people will check it out.
Absolutely. Well, Dane, I really appreciate your time. NFL draft is almost here. I know you're excited. I sure am too. Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it.
Anytime. Thanks, Matt.